I don't want to offend anyone in this video, so I promise I'm only going to be talking about the representation of women, L's, B's, G's, T's, Q's, black folks, Asian folks, Hispanic folks, the religious, the non-religious, and the disabled. Safe stuff like that.
10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
This video is called Scratching the Surface of Diversity, and it really will only be a scratch. It's a really deep category of discussion that a lot of very intelligent people have gone into. So I'm just going to talk about the little areas that my own works brought me into contact with. Diversity in YA broadly covers the inclusion and the fair inclusion of all those people that I was talking about before, and many more. YA is probably the category where this is most prominently discussed, and to be fair, it's probably the one where it's most important that we get it right. Young people need representation, and young people come in all types, many more than the ones that I've mentioned.
Choices.
An author sits down to write a novel and introduces us to his protagonist, who is a straight white male. Diversity is all about inclusion and what you as the writer choose to include. It may not seem like it, but when you do sit down to write your story and it turns out that your protagonist happens to be a straight white male, you're making a choice about who the hero of your story is. The most important person in your story is a straight white guy. That's not a bad thing by itself by any means. But let's say that your supporting cast has 3 other male characters, also all white, also all straight, and 1 female love interest, also white. Then you've got minor characters below that, also mostly white, also mostly male. A pattern starts to emerge. It may sound like it's reading too much into things, but actually it's a case of the writer not reading enough into his own work. You notice I'm saying his, it's because you can tell that a man wrote this book. A straight white man. It is a book all about the struggles of a straight white man. You can tell because every little aspect of the book declares that. This narrow vision writer dude has made quite a few choices about who is not welcome in his novel. Women of substance, LGBTQ, I think that's all the letters, characters, especially for love interests, people who happen to be other than white, especially people that are actually from other cultures. You might think it's over the top to say that these characters aren't welcome in the story, but it's not. Whether you like it or not, making a choice to include somebody is also making a choice to exclude somebody. Choosing to do one thing is choosing not to do another. Repeatedly choosing to do the same thing is a commentary about what that author thinks is acceptable and right. Okay, this surface scratcher really was just a small one. It's got to end here. But I just wanted to get this idea of choice across as step 1 before we start looking at things a little bit deeper in the coming weeks. So when it comes time for you to make these choices, just have a think about who you're choosing and why, and have a think about what that says about the people that you're excluding, and you'll be amazed at what you learn.